Who are you?
Perfect Pussy.
And who's in Perfect Pussy? Meredith.
I'm Meredith. I'm in Perfect Pussy.
And Meredith, who else is in Perfect Pussy? Please introduce them.
4 men.
Could you please introduce them?
This is Greg. Greg, Sean, Ray, and Garrett.
And together you are?
Perfect Pussy.
And here you are, the band Perfect
Pussy.
in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, at Noise to Go Records. And to welcome you to Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, Meredith, I have a special gift for you, some ultramagnetic
MCs. Oh my God, this is so sweet. Where's my boyfriend?
featuring, he's on the cover right there, featuring.
Cool Keith.
Please explain your obsession with Cool
Keith. I love Cool Keith so much. I wrote a big essay recently about his record Black Elvis Lost in Space because it's one of my favorite records of all time. And I totally freaked out and wrote this big fangirl tome to Cool Keith, who I absolutely love. I think he's like one of the greatest musicians of all time and his lyrics are incredible.
And this is some old school Cool Keith, isn't it?
Yes, this is from his group that he was in before he sort of started to break out. Like, well, there was crossover, but he did this and then did a lot of solo records too. I love him. I had heard Dr. Octagonacologist, but then a few years later I was introduced to Black Elvis Lost in Space, which ended up becoming like my favorite record ever. So I don't know. I love it. I've never had the chance to see him, no, but I would lose my mind if I could. I was introduced to him because I had a friend who danced on stage with him. We were talking about MySpace, and my interest in Cool Keith was actually sparked here in the Pacific Northwest. I was in Portland going back up to Bellingham, Washington, and I was hanging out with a friend of a friend who was in Cool Keith's top 8 on MySpace because he used to prominently feature attractive women in his top 8, and she was a babe. So she brought him up, and it got me to start listening to him again. And that was a long time ago. That was like years ago.
The Basement Tapes, 84 to
90. I was not born. I was born in 1987, so I was maybe 3 when this came out.
Perfect Pussy, here you are in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Last night you played Seattle. Did a band Chastity Belt play with you?
No, they did not play.
I just love the idea, though. Chastity Belt opening up for Perfect
Pussy. Chastity is the name of our van.
Yes,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Small world.
Yeah.
We get a lot of weird pair-ups. That was actually probably one of the better ones. Usually it's just like blatant sex bands, which is fine. We don't mind that, but sometimes we'll get like phone calls like, hey, do you want to meet with like titty giants and dick lickers? It'll be such a great press op. And it's like, well, we're not really the same kind of band. It's not the same thing, you know?
Meredith of Perfect Pussy, quote, may contain Meredith.
That is my friend from when I was 14, Anna, who lives in Texas now. She had a Mercedes. She was the first friend of mine to get a car, and she got this old 60s Mercedes. And we used to drive around smoking cigarettes and skipping school and like talking about how hard life was for like 15-year-old girls. And she always told me that when she died, she wanted to be cremated, and she wanted me specifically to sneak into the Coca-Cola factory and dump her ashes in the vat so that every bottle of Coca-Cola had to say may contain Anna Moran on the back, because she was convinced that she was going to be a famous painter, so she thought it would bring some like roundabout capital to her next of kin. So we always talk about, I'm going to dump my ashes in the Coca-Cola plant.
But you went one better. You dumped your own blood. Please explain.
I did.
In a record.
I did. I collected my blood and went to Brooklyn Fano on Valentine's Day with Greg. That was our very romantic Valentine's Day together, was dumping a jar of my menstrual blood into a vat of vinyl at Brooklyn Fano in Brooklyn.
I thought it was very romantic.
It was pretty cool. We were on Finnish national television. There was a film crew there that day filming the process at the plant. And they were actually pressing like a Thurston Moore record and a Woods record and then our record. They were doing a bunch of huge projects, and there's us and this TV crew from Finland, and I'm standing on a ladder with like a jar of my own blood. Like, so that happened.
Please explain the process. Did it have to be tested? Like you're actually at the plant and like you say to the secretary, here, I'm here to drop off the blood. Had anybody done that before? Take us through that.
I'm not sure anyone's done it before. They were talking about how there's a lot of metal bands that want it to look like blood, but I actually had a jar of my own blood, and it was in my bag. And when I showed up, the woman who was really nice, the woman who runs the plant, was like, we need you to sign a waiver. We just want to make sure you're not going to get hurt. And I'm like, get hurt? What am I going to do? Fall off the ladder? And she's like, well, no, I don't want you to like cut yourself or anything. I'm like, no, I already have the blood with me. And that was the moment when everyone there was just like, okay. And then from there on, it went real quick. And
they were more worried about us drawing blood there than putting blood into the record, I think. But it's also like, it's something that people have asked to do a lot, but I don't think anyone's been able. I think we just have the right friends, maybe somehow just made it.
Yeah, it was just a weird enough, gross enough concept that people were entertained by it. It was fun.
So like somebody who's watching this now and wants to buy that record, it's all sold out?
Not really. We have some. Not with us, but they exist.
How would you describe it? Like, how would you describe the record for people looking at it?
Honestly, they're all different. Because, you know, if you were to just press regular blood, the heat from we watched it being made, you know, and the heat that presses a record is really extreme. So if we had just put the blood in straight, it would have turned black. It would have messed up the machine. It would have been really gross. You actually have to cut it with red vinyl. And it's completely indeterminate how much blood ends up in the record. So some of them are almost clear, and some of them are like bright pink. It's really weird. I've only seen a couple, but thanks to the internet, people post pictures of them on Instagram, and I'm like, there's my blood in Chicago, there's my blood in California, there's my blood in London. Like, woo, I'm in your house.
Perfect.
Yes, we are.
Perfect.
Pussy.
Perfect.
Nardwuar.
Perfect.
Nardwuar.
Perfect.
Nardwuar.
No, perfect.
Nardwuar.
No, perfect.
Nardwuar.
Perfect.
Nardwuar.
You're making me say
Nothing.
pussy.
Oh, bad word. Bad word.
Perfect pussy. You are working it, though. You guys really are working. You're doing a Canadian tour. I mean, congratulations.
We're having a few days here, and it's nice.
You're heading to Calgary.
4-day-long Canadian.
Calgary, Alberta.
Yeah.
In honor of you guys playing Calgary, Alberta, you guys are going to be playing Tubby Dog. Do you know that?
We've never been, but I'm excited.
Yes, it's a hot dog place.
I heard about that place.
It's a,
Fascist regime. I don't know.
exactly the opposite.
I heard that.
Exactly the opposite.
Street in Vancouver.
No, Tubby Dog is an amazing place, Ray.
Oh.
And we have an incredible gift for you. We have right here Tubby Doc, a documentary all about Tubby.
Need movies to watch in the
Please, we love movies.
This is by Sarah Hughes, and it's called Tubby Doc, and it's all about Tubby,
Dog.
Doctors.
the gig place you're playing. It's an all-ages gig place, and you have amazing hot dogs.
Cool.
And they have the Captain Crunch, which you got to order. Captain Crunch. I think it's the peanut butter and jam, but the Captain Crunch cereal goes on the hot dog.
Can you smoke weed in there?
I'm pretty sure you can do anything when Elton John orders from there as well. Yeah, when Elton John...
Tiny Dancer?
Your booking agent is incredible to book you into Tubby Dog.
Our booking agent is incredible. End of story. Our book.
Get you to that location. Have you played places like Tubby Dog?
My old band played a taco joint in Las Vegas, and that was one of the best shows we've ever played. We played there with the band The Body, who are like the heaviest band that's ever existed. And I just remember kids moshing around in metal bands and eating tacos, and it's nice. Food loosens people up like booze does, but I'd much rather play a restaurant than a bar.
But anyways, here we go. Tubby Dog for perfect.
Hot dogs.
The dog meets the pussy on the way to Calgary. A long drive.
You said it.
Perfect pussy, quote, conversations of churches and...
Words? They don't know the words. You can't ask them.
What does that mean?
Fields.
And...
And Lord.
And...
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, please explain. Lord's not in the lyric. Please explain there, Meredith.
I don't have Twitter, but when I was at South by Southwest, a bunch of my friends were freakishly texting me, and I pulled out my phone after a while of not looking at it, and they were like, Lord, the singer from, I think she's from New Zealand, right? She's a young pop singer from New Zealand, is tweeting the lyrics to one of your songs. And it was the weirdest thing. It was really sweet because she's cool.
coincidence.
She's cool.
Anything you'd like to say about the individual members of Perfect Pussy, Meredith? Just going down the line here, starting with Garrett.
I could go on forever.
Just quickly, a little bit about Garrett.
Garrett is one of the most positive influences in my life. Ever since we became friends, I've kind of looked to him as a big inspiration for happiness. He has a really even demeanor, and in my life, that's super valuable.
And then we go to Sean.
Sean is one of the most talented people I've ever known. He takes his job as a recording engineer super seriously, and he's recorded my old bands too. So we've worked together for years, and I trust him more than I trust most people to do his job the best he can possibly do.
And then we move over to Ray.
Ray just turned 21, and he's kind of like a little brother to me. I look to him for inspiration now because he's been busting his ass to write really good songs for this band. But when I see what he's doing and I see how brave he is traveling and writing and really putting himself out there and playing as hard as possible, I just get this really familial sense of pride where I'm just really stoked that I get to see him do this. It's like his first time ripping around the country this many times, and he's handling it so well. I'm just really proud.
And then we move over to Greg.
I don't like Greg.
Here we are in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada with Perfect Pussy.
Oh!
It sounds so dirty when you say it.
I like it when he says. I think it's better when he says it.
Here we are in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada with Perfect
Pussy.
Perfect Pussy. And I know you guys love records. Here we are at Noise Records, but you also love comics, Greg.
Yeah, I actually like comics more than music. I'm probably the one member of the band who does not actively listen to music at all. I actually only collect, I do not own a record player. I collect vinyl based on its packaging, and if it has like a couple sets of grooves or a weird shape or color that I don't already own, it'll go on my shelf and I'll literally take it home and look at it. Similar with comics, I also can't read, so I will take the comics and take them home and look at them and then put them on my shelf. But I really enjoy early 90s DC Marvel comics, especially Lobo.
Well, I thought, Perfect Pussy, to welcome you to Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, here at Noise Records, I would bring you some comics, some local Vancouver comics. First, starting off with Pizza Punks, a little gift for you.
Oh, man.
Made by Cole. Cole does the Pizza Punk zine. And to top that off, we also have this book, Ink Studs, here, put out by Robin. And Robin does a radio show on CITR in Vancouver, and he interviews comic artists, and you can see all the different comic artists he talked to, including Chester Brown.
Oh my God, this is incredible. You know, actually, and Jamie Hernandez, Ray's brother is a famous cartoonist.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
He almost had a show on Cartoon Network, so I don't know.
His name is?
Phil McAndrew, and he's wonderful.
So there we go. There are records involved, but also comics in Perfect Pussy's venture to Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada.
Thank you so much.
You're so nice. Thank you so much. This is cool.
Well, thank you so much, Perfect.
Pussy.
Meredith, you're not afraid of MXPX.
No, I'm definitely not. I didn't really grow up listening. Yeah, they were a Christian band. MXPX was a pop punk band that I used to listen to when I was 12. They were around when I was in 6th grade, and my friend played them for me, and it was the first punk record that a person had played me that wasn't my dad, because my dad raised me listening to, like, you know, punk rock and stuff. And then I had this friend named Janelle who, right when CD burners became a thing, made me a copy of Let It Happen, and I loved it because there were so many songs. There's like 30 songs on that record. I'm not super into pop punk, but like I'm not afraid to admit I like MXPX. That band rules. And they had really cute lyrics. They were like, between the ages of 12 to 15 for me was when bands started to become popularized that had lyrics about like, my girlfriend sucks, let's kill her. And like that immediately struck a chord with me as something is wrong. But MXPX's songs were all like, hey, yo girl, you're nice, hop on my Vespa, I'll give you a ride, we'll go to the punk rock show and we'll go swing like at the playground after the show. And it was really innocent and kind of charming. So I still like that band. They were pretty Christian, but Let It Happen was not the most Christian album, except that one song I was talking about has that one lyric, I know that you believe in the one true God above, and that always made my skin crawl a little. But you can block out a lot, especially if the guys in the band are cute enough. The drummer of that band was really cute too, at least when I was 12.
And Sean of Perfect
Pussy.
Sean of Perfect Pussy, I want to give you a gift right here, some R. Stevie Moore.
Oh, wow.
Are you into the R. Stevie Moore?
Yeah, my friends in Rubble Bucket got me into him. We were in Purchase. We were playing their spring festival, and our Stevie Moore was the speaker of the festival. So we got to meet and hang out with him, and just watching his videos from back in the day, it was really, really funny.
Meredith of Perfect Pussy, you know a lot about proms, don't you?
I know more about prom than any human being on the planet, I'm pretty sure.
Now, why is that again?
Because for the last 4 years, I've worked at a shop in Syracuse called Boom Babies, under the tutelage of one of the coolest women I've ever known, working as a seamstress, repairing and altering prom dresses. And like helping girls pick them out, and wedding dresses and stuff like that.
Are there any prom tips for people watching? I mean, you know so much.
Mm-hmm. Don't go.
Baboom.
That's about the best I can do. Well, I
People walk into the shop and ask for a dress, and you say, don't go.
No, not at all. I spent the last few years kind of adjusting to an environment that was sort of buying into the heteronormative, capitalist, et cetera, aspects of this ritual that's really important but also really problematic. And by the end of 4 years, I'd kind of sussed out my own position on the whole thing, which was to focus on the fact that most of my clients were teenage girls. And when you come in to have a dress altered, oftentimes you feel like your body's the problem. And it was my job to kind of remind people that modern clothing is the problem, and that things can be altered to make you feel really wonderful, and that nobody has the right, including you, to make you feel like crap about your body. It was kind of nice. It was kind of like being a professional fairy godmother. It got really sweet, and I was sad to leave, but I'm glad to be in a band. But, you know, waving a wand over teenage girls and making them feel a little better about themselves every day was actually really fulfilling. I liked it.
Lastly, Meredith, I want to get you one last gift here. A Big Eyes 7-inch.
Oh, man. Big Eyes is sweet, and I actually don't have this one. Grave Mistake Records rules, too.
That's what I was curious. It's the 2010 demo. What can you say about Big Eyes, the 2010 demo?
Big Eyes is weird for me. Big Eyes was a band that all my friends liked, and I really, really resisted because, like I said, I don't really like pop punk. But then they had that full length. It was amazing. They relocated to out here in the West from Jersey, I believe. Then they put out a 7-inch called Back from the Moon. Back from the Moon is like one of my top 3 favorite songs of all time. It is literally the most perfect breakup song you've ever heard. And I like sad bastard music, but Back from the Moon by Big Eyes is like one of the best ever. So this adds to my Big Eyes collection because I genuinely love that band now. It took a while. I have really, really low attention span. So usually if I latch onto a band really quick, I stay with that band. I go with it. And if I see something and I don't like it, I just write it off. So Big Eyes took me a while, but this is really nice. You're like my favorite friend right now. This is so cool. This is the best, this is the right, what I'm holding right now is the best example of my taste in music. This is me all the time, right here.
Big Eyes and
Ultramagnetic MCs. This is literally my personality in a nutshell. So thank you. You ba-boom.
all right. Well, thanks so much, Perfect Pussy. Keep on rocking in the free world and do.
No dog. No dog.
Check.
Ooh, Elvis is back.